It seems like that ship has sailed, and they're just kind of sticking with Chandler as the backup fighter. Khabib Gaethje are going to fight on October 24th. Then all of a sudden, around 2 weeks ago, something develops online with you and Conor McGregor, where he writes to you offering you an opportunity to have this boxing sparring match in Dublin for charity. When he threw this out to you, did you think it was a real thing? Like, were you just kind of going along with it, or did a part of you think like, yeah, I could pull this off, we can make this happen?
I thought it was real when he reached out, but he wanted to do MMA. I thought it was going to be boxing or something. He wanted to do like an MMA sparring exhibition, I think 3 5s or something like that, and broadcast it. What's crazy is NBC Sports, NBC Sports reached out to me and an agency I work with. They wanted the TV rights to it. Things started moving. As soon as he said that and I said, let's do it, people started reaching out for streaming platforms, and it was crazy, man. He's got some eyes on him for sure.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not surprised by that at all. But then it seemed like obviously the UFC caught wind of this, and their line of thinking was, well, we have 2 UFC fighters, fighting in a quote-unquote charity sparring. Like, we're just going to have this fight under our umbrella and our octagon. So then it seemed like they were interested in making this fight happen and offered it to Conor McGregor. Have you been offered this fight?
No, I haven't formally been offered anything.
What do you make of that?
I think the Conor's side of the deal might be the tougher part to get done, and once that's done, they might come to me. I don't know, man. They know I want to fight. They know I want to fight this year, whether it's Conor, whether it's Tony. They know I want to fight.
But considering how, the last opportunity kind of fell by the wayside because of the fact that you guys weren't on the same page contractually, it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not going to be like, hey, Dustin, you're fighting Conor on X date, let's go, right? Like, there's going to have to be some negotiations involved, correct?
Well, the dates that are open that we were looking at, I think, was November, end of November, which is a short time, or December, which would be a full training camp. I don't think it's going to be like in the next 2 weeks or anything like that. Other than that, I think the time frame makes sense. 6 to 8 weeks or so.
I just mean about your pay.
We gotta, whenever they call, then we'll talk about that.
Okay, so Conor is pushing, it seems like, for a fight in 2020, right? They've offered him January 23rd, but it seems like he'd prefer to fight on either the November 21st card or the December 12th pay-per-view, or maybe just create a new pay-per-view for him, which they did at the beginning of the year. I don't think that's an option right now. If you had your way, if it was up to you, which date is most ideal?
The 12th, the 19th, if they create a new date on the 19th, or I think they have a card, then maybe turn that into a pay-per-view, whatever they do. In December would be great because I'm already here in Florida. I'm back out here training. It would give me enough time to prepare for that style of fight. But like I said, I'm here training. I don't have an opponent, so I'm just training, trying to get better, working on my skills, not specifically for an individual, just overall game. But I want to fight. I think December makes sense.
Why did you decide to go back to Florida again without a set thing?
Because the Conor talks were kind of, well, not in the UFC, but online, was starting to heat up, and things were starting to look like, I saw Conor bringing in his coaches and starting to train. And also Tony's out there. I saw his interview he did with you. He wants to fight. Something's coming. I know. I got a pretty good intuition. I haven't been wrong about things like that in the past. Whenever I fought Max Holloway for the interim belt, I didn't have a fight, but I came to Florida and started working, and then the fight came together. So I just know that I want to fight again this year. There's 2 guys who want to fight again this year. That makes sense at the top of the division. So let's work.
I asked you earlier between Chandler and Ferguson who you prefer. You said Ferguson. So between Ferguson and Conor, who do you prefer?
Obviously, Conor's a bigger fight. I think for sure, I know more eyes would be on that one. I think there would be more money involved. And a win over Conor just keeps my career trajectory upward. I think a title fight after that, no telling what. I think a win over Conor it's a bigger fight.
By the way, is there any possibility in your mind, and again, I know they haven't called you, but like, is there any chance this happens at 170?
I would love it.
Really? Why?
I'll sign the contract right now at 170. Because it's less stress on my body. I don't have to cut as much weight. I'm not a small 55er.
Okay, but obviously you would do it at 55 as well.
Yeah.
What stuck out to me the most was how you called out that you broke his orbital. Like, you yelled that mid-fight. Take me back. Were you talking to your corner? How did you know? Like, walk me through that moment.
I think when I kicked him and he gave me a reaction, you know, like I saw in his face that he reacted to it, you know, which is usually something where means that it definitely got through and did something to his mind. So, and then I started to see some weird swelling, like go at like a weird angle. And to be honest, I wasn't sure if his orbital was broke or not. I kind of just said it just to mess with him a little bit because I know that he reacted to it. And so I know that probably meant that it hurt. And then I was like, well, if I can kind of convince this guy that his orbital is broke, then maybe he'll be cautious, or maybe he'll just be a different type of way than he normally would, you know. And I think that it actually worked. You know, I think it threw him off his game a little.
Is that something you do in practice? Like, do you just mess around with guys and just kind of talk trash back and forth, having fun?
I just been studying a lot since the last fight. I think that it kind of just put me in a war state of mind, you know, like take advantage of any little thing that you can. And if you can like mix up their mind in any way, you know, that's one of the themes throughout all of those war books is you can get in their head. And I just saw an opportunity to get in his head, and I took it.
Here with Jermaine Durandamy coming off her win over Juliana Pena. You talked about the message it sends to the rest of the division, where a lot of people think, oh, she's a striker, I can take her down, it's going to be easy. I disagreed with that after I saw your fight with Amanda Nunes. I thought you were very effective off your back. You went for a lot of submissions. You seemed confident with your submission game, but it seemed like certain fighters or certain media members didn't get the message there. I thought you looked great in that fight when it came to your grappling.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, I've been working on it, and though Amanda did a great job in, you know, keeping, you know, slowing the pace down on the ground. I mean, she's good at what she does, but I made some improvements in this fight, and you know, I'm just I'm just in love with the submission.
Moving forward, of course, Holly Holm, a fantastic performance in the main event. A wipeout over Irene Aldana. I thought she looked fantastic. The no-brainer is a fight between you and Holly Holm. The winner gets the next title shot. What are your thoughts on that? Your excitement level for that? Talk us through it.
You know, I honestly didn't think about it until people start to talk about it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it is absolutely an option. Absolutely. But like I said, I just want to fight everybody, and I want to put up entertaining fights, you know, and I'm not solely focused right now on the title shot, you know, because the UFC decides anyway what's going to happen. Sometimes they make you fight 10 fights, or, you know, 1 or 2 fights is enough. So for right now, you know, I just want to fight and have fun. So everybody is an option. I could care less about rankings. You know, I just want to have fun in there.